Hello, everyone. Aho, ashe, namaste, aloha,
Everyone.
all of that. Welcome to Ancient Light Insights with Jaquel.
My name
Today
is
it
Juan.
is April 8th and it's 11:38 a.m. in Los Angeles, California. And it is what time in your
It, I 12:38. We're
12:38. So we're working with this 4 and 8 number today for building the 4 pillars, the foundation. So 4/8/2020. A lot going on. We're going through quarantine in this time. So I want to apologize to everyone, all the viewers at this time. If we get some interference, we might freeze. Our voices might be a little distorted. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. We're gonna just clear the energy for that. But please understand that we're going through this, all this together. We're all at our homes currently, overloading the internet, so everyone is experiencing interference at this time. So hopefully that went across. We're going to still try to get this across because I want to introduce everyone to this amazing being that I met recently on Facebook. We synchronized beautifully not too long ago, and I think he saw me in a live. His name is Juan Manuel, and somehow we just gotten to connect and we began to talk about things, these higher, like intelligent, just deep conversations. And I realized that he is part of the tribe. He is one of the ones that's being called to do this work and to help others, like come into this awakening. So, and he drew this incredible Merkaba for me during his meditation. And I said, I have to bring him in here. Everyone has to see him because I kept seeing his pictures. And he had this incredible, like, I kept observing his amulets that he was having in all his pictures. And I knew it was something very unique that I've never seen in my life. It looked very shamanic, but almost like alienic in a way, like this high intelligence, like just very interesting, holistic amulet. And I knew it was something special. So I asked him, and it is. So I said, let's do this talk. So I will let Juan Manuel introduce himself and tell you what he does. He's an incredible artist and also a healer and so much more. I'll just let him explain, but I will show you really quick. First, the first Merkaba that he drew himself for me. I'll show you the skeleton. This is just the skeleton. And then he had painted it, and I printed it out. Unbelievably beautiful and perfectly and symmetrically in everything. And I had been meditating with it because we know that the Merkaba is we all know that it's a portal, right? So Juan Manuel, with all that being said, I introduced to all of you the amazing Juan Manuel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Juan Manuel. And yes, me and Jaquel have connected, and I've been sort of not new to this journey, but sort of, it's kind of new to me, but yeah, I wanted to talk about the Merkabas. The Merkabas, if you do your research, usually it's like two triangles placed on top of each other, and basically what they are, they're light bodies that are activated through meditation, and as you become more spiritually developed, you can actually activate these at will. A little bit about them, it was like a technology that Egyptians used to use back in the days. And it was a tool that could be used basically to achieve ascension, essentially. And it's kind of crazy because like there's all, just like everything else, there's forms of things that are similar to that. Like I'm sure people have seen mandalas. Mandalas are also very similar. They in Asian cultures, they use these as also like as tools for meditation. And in like Latin American culture, they have things called el ojo de Dios, which is like the eye of God, except they actually use these sticks to weave these shapes that essentially it's like a protection towards, but it's protection, but it's also they're used in all sorts of ways. I just started drawing these a couple of months ago. I've been at it for like four or 5 months, and it's crazy because like during this process, like I have been able to testify that they work. During this whole time, like it's crazy because like there's a lot of information that goes into the Merkaba, because actually you integrate the chakra system into the Merkabas, because there's a chakra system, and each layer is literally like you're targeting a chakra system, and the outermost layer. Let me get Jaquel's.
Yeah, it's like what you said, the mandalas is very similar. If you notice the chakra system, they're all sort of like, they're mandalas and Merkabas. Oh my God, that is beautiful.
But
Can you bring it a little bit close to the camera so we can see everything right there? Wow.
And the thing though is that
wow, that's beautiful how it goes around. That's true. That looks definitely looks 3D. Oh, that's trippy. Oh my gosh, that just gave me this idea of like having it like as this lamp, you know, like on the ceiling, that kind of like when you turn it on, it moves with a fan, where you can lay down and just stare at it and meditate.
And
wow.
The thing though is that these what people don't realize is that not only does it have the chakra system implemented in it, it also has the tree of life. If you guys are familiar with the tree of life, there's like, I think there's like 9 subsections where it talks about what's called, let me get my book. I have a little knowledge book that I'm working on, and it's basically like all the things that I'm currently like in my studies. Like I wish I was born at a different time, because I feel like that's a lot of like the philosophers back then that acquired all this information were traveling.
You probably were born in that time.
I do not put it past it. Like but it has the tree of life, and the tree of life basically has they're like 9 subsections. Like it has the kingdom, the foundation, the glory.
It's so significant with the tree of life, right? There's these stories, if we go really ancient times, where the map of the earth and this big tree, we even see it in movies such as Avatar. Like, I don't see it like that, but like if for us who has the eye to see, we see in these movies that they're really telling us something. That big giant tree in the middle of the earth, that there is so significant, the tree of life. And I mean, I can testify to incredible things about trees.
I cried to that movie each time the tree was brought down. I was like, oh my God, why? I don't know. There was something in me that I was just like, why? Like, and it was just, I don't know. I watched that movie.
It makes me cry. It actually makes me cry.
Yeah.
I have made a big deal. Sometimes I see people, why are you questioning people? Like, why are you cutting that tree? Like,
I know.
I remember when I first moved here, they were cutting this tree. Like, it looked like they were just like really cutting it. And I called it, like, I just made a big deal. I'm like, you're not cutting that tree. It just gave me shade in my window. It was like gonna cover from all these buildings to watch me, my window. So I made it a big deal. And then they say they have to do it. And I'm like, you're killing the whole tree. No, they'll grow back. I saw them growing back, but like, it's like oxygen, right? It's what gives us oxygen.
Yeah. I don't think people realize that. And I feel like a lot of what's happening right now is sort of like it's guiding us towards where we should be. Because like even in if you think about like all the industry, but like the livestock industry, that industry was created because they try to push to the idea that we need nourishment from eating animals, when in fact it's like all the nourishment that we need comes from the earth itself. and these animals are very special beings that are here to help us through life, but not by eating them. But not by
The
eating them.
animal kingdom are one of our biggest teachers. Like
Yes.
I mean, human beings should be learning from them.
Yes.
They're quite clean, quite organized. They got their roles. They know how it is. They're not detrimenting the earth. They contribute to the earth. They're incredibly intuitive. They're incredibly resilient in compared to us little snail human beings with this little intelligence. And we're just the most destructive, I have to say, unfortunately. I'm just, this is just authentically how I speak. We are the most destructive species on earth, human beings. So the earth, I understand in my perspective that like every, I don't know how many billions of years, the earth needs a big cleanse. It's like when we, you know, have to do the dry fast or the colon cleanse. You know, the teeth, you go and do your checkup and you clean your teeth in the dentist. Whatever it is, like it's the earth, is time for to cleanse and to reform itself. Essentially, it's a new decade, it's a new era, so therefore it's a new shift. And things are just going to be shaking and cleansing what doesn't serve the earth. And it potentially is rebirthing. The new breed. The new human breed. The one that is going to unite the nations again. I'm writing a song about this.
No, and I actually, like, I wrote I will get back to this, the sun song. I actually wrote a song about the sun, and it's like a worship sun song. And it's kind of crazy because it's like, it's sort of going through the idea of an awakening and the idea that we're, as human beings, we're plants too. We require nourishment from the sun and also like from the elements that are outside us. And it's like, I feel like right now, like in a sense, like a lot of us are blooming right now, and just the way that the earth is reblooming again, like that there's a difference in the air, like the birds are singing, there's more bugs outside, and it's like it's an amazing thing, and I hope everyone's experiencing this and during this time they're connecting, because it's like you said the other day, we had this conversation, like insects and animals, they speak to you, but you just have to be receptive to the message. And even the wind, like sometimes I'm like, I tell people, I'm like, when there's strong winds, like the wind is trying to tell us something, you know, and then it has its moments where it calms down, and you just have to be receptive to the message. And
it's a beautiful thing when we're in sync with nature. We have just been disconnected from our roots, from our, like you said, like the wind is constantly speaking to us, and we're supposed to flow with it. So it's okay to feel angry and emotional when it's storm day, because we're going with the flow. Is calling for releasing something that doesn't serve, and being in tune, you know. And the sun, like you said, that is life. Is without the sun, there's no life. I've spoken about this in my video. You saw it. I did the live on Facebook. The importance about the sun, and how, you know, the dark forces, like the way they twist the truth and make like, oh, this is cancer, this is bad for you. Everything's twisted in life. So it's important that light, you expose yourself to that light. It's like we're plants, like that plant, that little seed that we planted, you need to put it out in the light. And the same way we as human beings need to be in the light. I took a thumbnail screenshot with you like that, maybe for the thumbnail of this video, because I love your art right there. I'm looking at it. I want you to talk a little bit about your Merkabas.
And so it does have the chakra system implemented in it, and it's what I've heard that it does. It's supposed to, like, yes, activate the chakra system, but it's also supposed to bring like a lot of good fortune. and sometimes it's crazy because like it does bring definitely like good fortune, and it helps sort of gain more understanding too, and they're definitely portals. They're definitely portals. There's a lot of I don't want to say mysticism because I feel like a lot of these words that they use, like mysticism and occult and mythology, it's like words that they created to sort of like make us think that they're not real.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
But it's like in a sense though, it's like no, like they're very much real, and everything's backwards. Like even
Yeah,
like,
everything is backwards. And it's
even
funny how they
religion.
show us in the movies how everything is backward, yet all these skeptic people are
Yeah,
fascinated with fantasy movies. It's
yeah,
like makes no sense. It's like you didn't think this could be real, but you're
yes,
fascinated and obsessed with this
yeah.
fantasy for some reason. So you go and watch it.
I know.
Your
Oh my God.
Merkaba looks like a brand, like a different kind of heart chakra that I've never seen. Like your
Yeah,
unique heart chakra,
and
mandala, Merkaba.
yeah, and what's it called? But yeah, they're definitely portals. And recently, like I was learning that like you have a copy of this, and I actually wanna. It sucks that the library is closed right now because I usually
That
scan
one
them.
is even better. It's complete. It's the same? No, this one. Oh yeah, because the original, of course.
But what's it
Beautiful.
called? But you can actually. I have reason to believe that you can actually connect astrally, like in astral form, through these portals with another person. You have a copy of this and I have a copy of this, and we can meditate, and if you're like spiritually inclined and spiritually developed, which for me, I want to say that I'm sort of like a beginner in this whole meditation thing, and I'm still learning, but it's like I feel it. It's like I feel what the energy that people talk about,
Oh my God,
and
we need to practice this.
it's
And
crazy
I can like with the
the
meditation.
way
Wow.
that because initially when you see these, there's supposed to be a disc that pops out from the middle. There's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be a disc that pops out from the middle, but as you see it through the center, you can actually start rotating, and it starts breathing, and you start going layer by layer, like from the inside out, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
starts coming, and it actually does something. It's like an ocular thing that does something to your eye, because literally like once
Absolutely. Because if we look at our eyes, really, they are
what
Merkabas.
it looks like,
Our
it
eyes
literally
are
looks like,
Merkabas. Because if you think
yeah,
about the slice that we have within the eye, the iris,
yeah,
they are Merkabas, and the pupil is like this lens, like you can
yes,
contract and dilate. It's beautiful how it just moves, like, when you're attracted to something,
yeah,
typically, like your eye, like it dilates.
yeah,
It immediately dilates and becomes really dark because the pupil is just going like this. It's like it opened up because it's
yeah,
like something is interested.
yeah,
And when it's like repelling something or trying to close off, it goes really small,
mm-hmm.
tiny. It closes up the pupil. It's like a portal closing up, like, nope, you're not going in. And for people who have like blue and very light eyes, you can see them even more bluer because it becomes very small, the pupil.
Yeah,
So it's interesting how we have that mechanism that looks like the eye, exactly like that.
yeah. And it's crazy because what's it called? I don't know if you're able to shift your eyesight. I can look at something and then sort of, I don't know how to explain it to people. I'm sure some people know how to do it, but where you can distort your eye to like change the focus, and when you do that, you can focus it, and it
You mean like
starts
a
even.
chameleon?
Yes, I'm not reptilian, okay? I swear. Like
You know what I can do? I can make my one eye like cross, like if I'm look in and leave that one in the middle.
what the? That's
Like
crazy.
I'm gonna do it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Let's see if you can you see my eyes clear? Okay, watch.
That's so funny. I always wonder, I'm like,
I might have reptilian breed. I don't know. Maybe.
you're like,
I might be the warrior good kind that is like gonna
yes.
that has the permission to slay some reptilian necks. Because I do have I have my snake, which is my bait,
Yeah.
and I do belly dance with him, and I really meditate. He's
Yeah.
magical, but I've always had this connection with the feline and reptiles, all creatures actually, all creatures. We talked about it. The animal kingdom.
It's super fascinating.
We want them on our side.
Yes. I feel like we're gonna come to a point where it's like I don't know what foreign forces against us, but it's like just like those movies like Lord of the Rings where
yes, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, like you see all the nations joining where we're like, well, what nation do we have right now?
They don't see that it's like not a fantasy. They're kind of like telling you how some things are, like other realms with other people. You see Lord of the Rings, like I see it there a lot. Like I'm like, wow. And you see movies like Avatar, and there's others. Like I heard like the Nutcracker talks about the four realms and everything like that. Like
and I feel like even the Matrix is like
the Matrix. It's so lit. That's true. Everything in the Matrix.
People don't realize that movie has like so much to do with the system that we live in, because like essentially when people realize that we radiate frequency, like we're also part machine in a sense. Like we have hard drives and we have downloads that happen to us, and people don't realize that we all radiate to frequency, and sometimes people don't realize that we're like, what do you mean that we radiate frequency? We do. Like
people don't understand that we're electromagnetic, and when I say that, they're like, what do you mean electromagnetic? Like, we're electromagnetic. That's why we can get electrocuted.
And we have metals in our body. Like people don't realize that we have metals running through our veins as well as wood, because we're part synthetic, but we're also part, like, what's it called, earthy. Like we're earth based, but we're also metal based.
Earthy. We're cosmic and earthy. That's why we're 70% water, because our consciousness and our spirit, and this is just higher intelligence conversation. If you're listening to this, then or you're just being called. So just this receptivity is understanding that there's a lot more. There's a lot more, and you can just dive into it and be open or not. It's not for everyone. I just want to say that first and foremost. But essentially, like what Juan Manuel is saying, and same thing, like these things are these portals, like these mandalas, these yintras, the yantras, the Sri yantra. I have a Sri yantra here.
Let's see. I'm going to show you. This one's mine.
This is a Sri yantra.
Ooh.
Look at that one. That's an eye right there. I want to meditate on that. I will see that already, just it going like this. And these are portals, okay? And the full moon, the new moon, the eclipses, the summer solstice, the winter solstice, the birth canal, the vagina, birth canal. They are all portals, okay? Like, they're portals. That's why the baby comes out on the head. The crown comes out into the dimension. The baby, while it's inside the belly, is very comfortable and like this in the little bubble water, still with all its little memories. Sucking up all the information from the mother and what it hears around. And knows, it's gonna know when it comes out. But once it comes out in this 3-dimensional plane through the portal, and touches oxygen and the density of this world, starts crying, desperate, and like the Matrix in blank memory. Does not remember from there on. And then from there on, that's our journey. There you are in the world. Now your journey is to remember. We are here to remember why we are here.
Yeah.
If we die not remembering, it's sad that we wasted 100 years or whatever. It's sad because you have to come back.
Yeah.
You're not gonna escape that. You're not. People think that they kill themselves and they're gonna escape. You're not gonna escape that. You're gonna come and it's gonna be worse because the consequences was worse. So you have to learn harder lessons. We need to get over the fact that life, there's no God that's gonna come down to save us while we're here doing nothing. Being lazy. Waiting like for someone like to depending, like we're like cattle. What's wrong with us human beings? Really? We need to wake up. That's not how it is. We came here and the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, Jesus, they're counting on us to like, no, Jesus Christ is like, poor Jesus, like probably, my God, would you guys stop putting images of me crossed? Like, I don't want to see that me suffering. Like, let it go. I was trying to tell you how to be. And, you guys were just worshiping, waiting for me. I was trying to tell you, be like me, the Buddha. Be like me. Be the Buddha. You are the Christ. You are the Christ yourself.
Yes. And that's what people don't realize. A lot of life has to do with belief. It's like if many of us, because it's like they've created the system where God is centered on our beliefs. People don't realize that it's like, yes, like we're believing in something that we can't see, but that we can experience. Why is it so hard to believe that God exists within us? And in a sense, like I want to say that we're gods within our own realm, but it is like each head is its own galaxy. Like we're all capable of being creators, but it's like something that you have to believe within yourself, because no one can tell you how to believe. And even then, it's like right now I feel like with the whole coronavirus thing, it's like if people believe so much in God, like where is their faith that they're running thinking that there's like an apocalypse that's about to happen, like buying a surplus of food? And I say this because like my family's very religious, and that's what they're doing. And I'm like, where's your faith? If you really believe in God, like wouldn't you just be like, no, like we're just gonna let this happen as it happens, versus being like, no, we have to prepare for this and prepare for that. No, like prepare for your own journey, like reflect on your own journey. And it's like I'm at peace, like I'm not scared, I'm as happy as can be, because it's like I see the higher purpose of why it's happening.
And it's
but
because people think people are so lazy and they think everything is literal. Nothing is literal. If you imagine everything was literal, life would be so boring, right? Like it's not, the Bible is not literal, besides that it was written by a man. Like man, that like we have the tendency to like twist things, like and mold it into something else. So what cannot be manipulated? You can't manipulate the stars. So it's written in the stars, really, too. And we take everything so literal. We see apocalypse. Oh my God, we see the movie Apocalypse, and we see what is like the world of the ending. But we don't know, we don't dive deep into knowledge. Like knowledge is power, my friends. Okay? Knowledge is power. They're so, that's the occult leaders. You know what occult means? Hidden. You know what apocalypse means? The real definition of apocalypse means unveiling. That's what it means. So yes, we are in the 2020 apocalypse. Yes. Let me tell everyone, and my bird, I apologize if you hear that I have an African gray, and he's there, and he can go off sometimes. So please excuse him. I hope you love animals.
Yes.
And yeah, so 2020 apocalypse, yes. But it's not like, oh my God, the world's gonna explode. It's not exploding. It's gonna explode. It might explode some energy. Yeah, it might happen. Something's gonna happen. But like Juan Manuel is saying that he doesn't fear because he knows what it is. He knows it's this cosmic reset. You know, it's like this cosmic reset that needs to be done. It's like due, okay? We can't face it, it's due. So it's raising the vibrational frequency, electromagnetic, which can be microwavable for people who are toxic. If you don't live a life like you've been eating GMOs, people have been talking about this for a while, and everyone's been ignoring the whole vegetarian movement and people becoming vegan and people doing the fasts and all that and the yoga and the meditation, and they don't care. They go to Burger King and eat this meat. You don't know what it's made with. God knows. Get their vaccination lined up, doing the night job. So then and also in the new world order, you're about to be seeing like the real ugly side of it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know any better. Like, it's not like the end of the world's gonna be. It's gonna be the end of the world for some of you. Yeah, unfortunately. But not for everyone. The earth is reforming itself.
And
it's the new era, the new technology. This is the age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
The technology, IA is coming. Artificial intelligence is gonna take over. That's why these 5Gs are out there. And they're going to force people to, you know, they're going to just come stronger. They're going to create their new slavery. Because we've been enslaved. The slavery never stopped. Don't think slavery was back in the times in Africa where they had them by the neck. Like, this is like now it's spiritual warfare. This has been like a mental slavery. Now they don't need to like grab us physically. They just do it mentally. They make us do it ourselves. Through indoctrination, through like false belief system, through all the filth and bullshit that they feed us on the internet and the billboards, they bombard us on TV, the food, all the toxins that they put and sell animal products and stem cells from animals in vaccinations, in foods, in Burger King foods. People don't know this, but there's a lot that when you tap into these dimensions, you see people you think with Merkabas doing this and people think it's insane. We get this information and this knowledge most of the time from doing these journeys.
It's crazy because even like recently it was revealed to me that it's like just how religion works, you know, the idea that we believe in God. It's like where am I going with this? It's the idea that oh my God, I'm getting a blank. There's a blank. It's all correlating. It all correlates with each other because it's like you're going through this process of awakening where you're experiencing meditation. For me, meditation, if you want to go that far, meditation is prayer. You're connecting to a higher being, whether it's God or the universe or source. It's essentially the same thing. That, like religion, Christianity was placed so that they have a guideline to be able to live a better life. But it got distorted when all these religions were created, and then it deters from the fact that it's like, no, like they're all from the same scriptures. It's just placed differently, but then it was created so that it separates people, when in fact it's like we have a system here in place, like the chakra system, the meditation. These are systems that are tools so that you can go about in a different journey where you're not required to believe in religion.
Exactly. It's not a religion. People think that that's a religion. It's not. It's a practice that is ancient and that works. It's not like it works. It's not. It did not come from a book that some man wrote. It was like in stones. Like, how do you think the ancients even knew this information? They didn't get it from some book because there was no paper back then. There's no internet. They got it from the stars and from the earth. Themselves, grounded in the earth. They had nothing better to do. No distraction, no heavy metals being sprayed on them, eating organic, growing their own herb. These people were so in tune with nature that they could last over 200 years old. They tap into, they see this dimension. They knew the plant medicine. They would eat them, and they would see Merkabas in their, they see the Merkabas, they see these yantras. These mantras would come in their head, and then they chant it, and they drew it and on rocks. And this is where they got their information themselves. They tapped into it. And we don't do that because we just like, we're taught that we're just like come from monkeys and we have no purpose. You know, we're here to do the tough life, like work hard, tough life, and die quick, you know, like.
It's like, Jaquel, like, think about it. It's like, religion, the religion basically has outlined that everything that we're doing is a sin. Like, they tell us, no, meditation is of the devil. Astrology is of the devil. Mythology is of the devil. And it's like, no, like, they're not. It's like, it's flipped backwards. And if you really do your research with Satan, and I'm not saying that I'm like a Satan worshiper or anything, but there's definitely, like, if you do your research, there's history behind, and the fact that you'll find out that Lucifer was actually one of the first light beings that ever existed. And he existed in this other, during the time where the sun and the moon was being shaped, and because, like, we didn't come here to Earth as human beings. Like, there was a process that we had to undergo to attain a spirit body, to attain an astral body, to attain a soul. We went through these processes, and some people may have experience, and we don't really know, because it's like, people don't really, there's all this like scientific research on dreams, but like for me, like what I've gotten from dreams is that they're literally messages of places that we've lived in our past lives. And sometimes they go beyond time. Sometimes they go beyond, like, where there was literally like the first piece of light that ever existed, and people have memories of these. But we've been told that it's like, no, that it's just like something that your subconscious creates. And I'm like, no, these are portals that we are either experienced from a previous life, or we're experiencing in real time another paradigm in another time, in real time, during our sleep cycles. And people don't realize that sleeping is actually more essential. I mean, it's just essential as living in this plane, because it's like we're literally living through our astral bodies, through our dream states, and it's like there's all these messages that are subconscious, and our conscious is trying to project, and they're literally like tests that your guides are giving you to see, like, how further more you go ahead in your journey. And it's crazy, because it's like, even religion will tell you, like, some people will tell you that they don't believe in reincarnation, because they don't want you to get the idea that it's like, we have lived here, like some of us have been here for like 2-3 lifetimes, and it's like every time that we go through a life cycle, we get to retain the gifts that we had in those lifetimes. Like, you don't just like wake up in this lifetime and be like, oh, well, I'm good at drawing, I'm good at dancing, I'm good at singing. Like, where did all these talents come from? It's like you tap into them because they were already inherently within you. And some of us aren't necessarily like have been here. There are people here that are I call them firstborns, because it's like the idea that reincarnation, a lot of people are science-based, and they don't realize that science, yes, it's great, but what's even greater is the idea that we can literally like develop our spirit and our ether body, which is a combination of all the things that we know, but also the practices that we practice, meditation, eating healthy. Like, it's like it starts changing the paradigm within your dreams, and you're giving your brain more and more like ideas that it can portray new messages. that the universe is essentially trying to give you. And but yeah, I don't know, it's crazy to me
that absolutely. And it's because we have been suppressing the divine feminine for decades on purpose.
Yeah.
Because to be in an extreme and not in the balance extreme, they want us very like male oriented energy, so they make sure that we are more dominant towards, you know, the male side, so that we follow orders, so that we don't question things. We're like soldiers. Okay, yes, we're gonna do that. Because once you get in touch with that divine feminine within, and you embrace the femininity, you become intuitive.
Yes.
You're not easily manipulated. You're not easily controlled, because you're just more in touch with your body, with emotions. That's why they do this thing with the male pushing like very male energy and not embracing that divine feminine. That's why man, they have this misconception, this like, I call it the football type of man that drink the beer and they're just very macho here. You don't, they're like, to them, they think they can't cry. It's sad. No, a man can't cry. It's like this thing. I was like, you need to cry because you're just dying inside. Like you're just killing yourself. They end up with cancers and tumors. This suppression manifests in illnesses physically at the spiritual suppression manifests through the physical avatar. That is where cancer, tumors, any kind of illness, lupus, things like that develop from most of the time.
It's crazy because like, they and even holding on to like something, like holding your tongue sometimes will even bring illness to you, because it's like, if you're not able to speak your truth, you're just holding it in, and it starts eating at you. And people don't realize that it's like a lot of things that are getting us sick. It's not, yes, it's part of the things we eat, but it's also like the habits that we create for ourselves, in a sense that like our ability to speak our truth, but also like letting go of things that don't serve us, like forgiving people, like sometimes resentment, like that starts building up, and it does cause cancer, which is kind of crazy, and all these ailments that are self-inflicted. But then they tell us that it's like, no, you can take this medicine and this vaccine to fix that problem, when in fact it's like, it's only making it worse. And it's like, our healing can come from within us, and from the things that we consume, like, and people don't realize that it's like, we don't give ourselves enough credit to be like, yo, like, my body heals by itself, and I can attest to that, because like I've never been to hospital, like I hardly ever get sick, like and I'm like, it's like, I don't understand like how there could be a lot of people that get sick, and it's because of the thoughts that you carry within you, or the things that you don't speak out.
That's a big one, the things you don't speak out. We're so suppressed to believe. And a lot of the women too, like in their homes.
And an inability to show emotion, because sometimes it's like, yes, people don't realize that crying is like one of the biggest healers, because it's water. Water is coming from you. Like water is healing. Water is letting go. Like it's a
letting
flow
go.
Coming out of you.
Every form of secretion in the body, as sweat, like the crying, like nose, it's a form of release. That's why when you, or the people who know who do ayahuasca ceremony, like any, especially ayahuasca, some people not all purge through the mouth. Sometimes you just sweat, like soaked in sweat. Or like with me, I was crying for like 3 hours nonstop. That's a form of release as well. Yeah, I was. It was ridiculous. But for 3 hours in a row. I remember the guy told me, I felt so bad for you. You were crying for 3 hours in a row. I'm like, what? It seemed like nighttime to me.
And then you just
That's another story. But you're so right. Like, you know, we're just forgetting our roots. We're being mechanic. We are now mechanical. They just molded us into this like electronic, easy to manipulate to kill us and to empower. That's why there's rich people, like billionaires, and poor. It's always extreme. There's no balance in this earth because we're not in balance.
No.
That's why there's extreme. That should not be in a real paradise. There should not be people like billionaires and really poor people, homeless.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. That's like no balance within the plain earth. It should be, everyone should be equal. We should be like trading things, you know,
We
like
shouldn't be struggling to
you know, Juan Manuel has this beautiful Merkaba. He's there painting a Merkaba for you, and then I go there, like, let's say me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you a shamanic healing or a massage or offer. We should like do. That's how life should be, right? Like, if anything. So obviously, we come here to this plane to suffer. We don't understand that we do come here to suffer and to pay some consequences. Nothing's gonna come to save you. Like, it's not, the words that you read in the Bible is not literal. It's a metaphor for you to break down. God is probably like, oh my God, child, I'm counting on you that you know how to interpret this shit. You know, you're here. I know. Look, it says it in the Bible. Jesus is like, man, like, come on, guys. I'm like bouncing for you. You know, we think it's literal. That is all a puzzle game. It's like a chess game. The idea is to see how smart we are. The whole thing is like a puzzle piece that we have to like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Read the Bible. In the Bible itself, for all of those that talk about astrology, I can't really point out where, but if you know how to interpret it correctly, if you see it with other eyes and another perspective, if you drop the equation of the indoctrination, forget about what you learned in school or what they told you. Imagine you don't know nothing and you try to make sense of it. You will realize the truth of it. You will realize it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
You know?
But it's like, I think like what's happening right now, it's to shine a light on the things that aren't working and where we're at right now. Like,
that's why, that's why the apocalypse means that, and it is happening this year, but people think it means an unveiling. We're going to see it. We're going to all see the truth. It's going to be exposed in your face. If you are so blind that you don't see it, or if you are in so cognitive dissonance that you don't want to accept it, then you know what? It's cause and effect. It's going to cause a consequence for each one individually. Some are going to just be, no, it's impossible, no way, I deny, that's not true, no, it's not true, like insane, almost, insanity. And then others are gonna question it like, what? Like, wow, now they got the slap in the face. Maybe they didn't believe before, but now they're like, kind of like, man, now I have to pay attention to this. And there's gonna be the ones that they knew all along. They're like, man, I knew. And the ones that they knew, we all knew, and we're seeing it unfold before our eyes.
And I feel like a lot of us like felt that there was already something in the works that were like, something's gonna happen. I don't know when, but I know that like for a while I was like, oh my God, like something's preparing me for something that's going to happen, but I don't know what it is. And there's like this instinctive feeling of being like, no, like it's like you turn from an individual to a warrior, like, and not even a warrior in the sense of like fighting, but in the sense of like spirituality. Like we're
absolutely, yeah. It's preparing you. You don't realize that you're just being prepared. The whole time you're being prepared. The whole time it's all a test. It's all being prepared. Every little skill that you learn, even the one that didn't make sense, it was a preparation for this moment. And then we see it in movies and we don't believe that could ever happen.
Yes.
But you know what? We're in it, my friends. Yup. I had to break it to you. 2020 is the apocalypse, but it is what it is. So you can believe the word apocalypse or whatever as what you've always been like taught to, that this fear mongering thing that they got going, because it's fear mongering, or you can see it as what it is. And as scary as it looks and as challenging it's going to be, it's exciting at the same time.
It is.
Because it's like, what a restart. I get to like really, you know, become this independent being, sustainable, and get it together for me. It's a good opportunity for us. It's a shift, man. It's a shift.
And I hope everyone's taking advantage of this, because it's like literally like
the new shit.
It's like, if you don't see this as a blessing, then it's like you definitely got a lot to work on, because it's like it is a gift. Like this
if
is
you
a
don't
time.
see this as a blessing, you have a lot to work on. So for all that thing that you were skeptic before, and the conspiracy theories that you laughed about and all that, maybe start taking them serious, because I've had a lot of my friends, including like that I knew for years ago, that I would say all this and they would laugh at me. Then now they're like, oh, Chiquel, you know, I remember when you talked about this. Looks like I'm like, oh God, now you guys are paying attention, right? You need it. We just didn't know exactly what it is and when, but we knew that 2020, it's a new number. It's a cycle. After 9, it's a new cycle. It just turns the clock. There's nothing to it. So what that means, that the number 2020 means that is the end. So this is the year of the cleaning, of the purge, of the disaster, because in 2021, it's a new structure, a new world order. As they call it.
And it's crazy because like 2020 also, like it symbolizes, like, think about a perfect vision. It's like literally like it's a tuning, like it's like an attunement.
2020 vision, yes. It's incredible. 2020 vision, yes, and people don't see it that way. So by 2021, it's a whole new structure. This is gonna come all this new AI, new technology. Remember, it's Aquarian age. Aquarius is the air sign. Aren't you an Aquarius?
Yes, I was born on Valentine's Day.
No wonder you make Merkabas. This is beautiful. This is another thing I want to mention to people, for all those skeptics. And this is beautiful, because now he's saying that, and this amazing being is making this incredible portals to help the people, because that's what that's your gift, one of your gifts, and you happen to be an Aquarius sun. And Aquarius is the air element. The portals are air, is ether, very ether. Aquarium is innovation. It's the new technology. It's like the new thing. Okay? Yes. That's what it is. So, and he's been activated these days, drawing more Merkabas than ever, because he's been in this activation. I'm telling everyone, if you have a skeptic, look at your birth chart. Don't look just as, why you think that, why is it that you only know one sign, one side of your zodiac sign? You only know your sun sign. That's it. Oh, everyone knows their sun sign. Like, I'm a Scorpio. That's what people know. They, oh, Scorpios are like this. There's so much to you. So many layers. That's just the masculine side of you. How about the feminine and the ascendant? That's where the sun was when you were born. But where was the ascendant? Where was the right? What sign was rising at that moment? Where was the moon? My rising is Virgo. I didn't know that. It makes a lot of sense for why I am so, like, I love going live and I like to do ceremonies and I am a healer. Very Virgin. Like, it's the Virgo thing. Because I'm Scorpio is very introvert, very quiet and very, you know, like super mysterious. And I am like that too.
It's creepy because like
start to know yourself and you see how it makes sense. Like, try it for yourself. Try it for yourself. I challenge anyone that doesn't believe in astrology.
And if you guys like need help finding like your natal charts, like, we're here to help. Like, I open my door for you guys. Reach out to me. Reach out to Jackie. Like,
please, guys. There's people reaching out. Listen, I will have information with Juan Manuel. We're not done with him because I want him to show these amulets. This is something that we're gonna close this with. Because these amulets, I myself been eyeing for a while, but I want to let everyone know. For what do you do, Juan Manuel? You read charts as well. You read charts as well.
Well, I don't read charts because I'm still in the process of like learning astrology, but there's outlets out there to
yeah,
do.
there's many outlets, but look at his Merkabas, guys. If you guys want a Merkaba, I really suggest that everyone has your own Merkabas to start meditating with this so that you can tap into your higher self, okay?
Yeah.
Because your mother, the one you want to connect your root, your avatar, remember, your avatar, your car, your vehicle, your physical vehicle that you drive with, that you pimp out, that you spend all this money in shining the tires and waxing. Oh, it's got to be the best.
Yeah.
Do that to your body by plugging into the earth, because that's how we as earthy creatures, we have to. And then the engine, you're taking care of the oil, and the engine side is the brain, okay? So you connect to that higher self by doing these things. If you have your own Merkaba, you know when it's a full moon and when it's a new moon, you can put it right across from you and you just do your thing, your meditation. And you stare deep into it. You do it the right way. Like I do guided meditation. I'm going to start doing a lot of videos. I might want to do with you a collaboration with Merkaba to do meditation. We're gonna create this Merkaba meditation. So where you stare at it, and trust me when I tell you, if you have the intention, you will have the concentration, the focus, and the drive, and the will. You will go through that. You will begin to tap into that, and you will see. But you have to want it. You have to, like, it's got to be a calling. This is not for everyone. There's going to be people who are going to need to recycle back. Okay? That's just bottom line. If you see this nonsensical, then honestly, this is not, you're not here yet. You're not here yet, and that's okay. We're not judging you. But don't judge us for something you don't understand. It's not that you're not sure that it's not true. It's just that you don't understand that yet because you haven't dived into that. Like we did we were one of those like curious people who did the experiments by doing the meditation, by tapping into it. Like, let me see what's happening within me. And a lot of you cannot deny, if you know Juan Manuel for years ago from who he was in his past, and if you know me, Jaquel, from my past, you know that we are completely different individuals today. And that's how it shows. That's how it shows.
Yes, guys. I'm gonna show you some little skeletons because I've been nonstop at it, but so that people can get the idea.
Yes. I was gonna say I will post links to Juan Manuel's website and his Facebook page so that you can friend him and check him out and contact him if you want your Merkabas and you want. This guy is a sweetheart. He's an amazing being, and he's doing good things for the world. He has the good heart and the good intention. So that you can contact him. But I'll let him, before we close, also say his information as well. But right now he's going to show us the skeleton, and then I want him to show us his incredible amulets.
Now, what people don't realize is that the Merkabas are actually, once you develop a seeing eye, which I'm still working on developing, you can actually see these geometric shapes that people emulate. People emulate these shapes, and if you do like ayahuasca or like if you do psychedelics, you can actually see these shapes that people radiate, and the auric colors that represent that person.
Wow.
But like they usually start as, I don't know if you guys can see it that well. Let me see if I can. Can you see that?
Get it close. Wow. Yes, right there. Closer. Right there. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I mean, if you do a psychedelic with that, you know you're going to see it spinning everywhere. It's just going to be doing this clockwise motions. So, wow, that is so trippy. You know what I like about your Merkabas? They're very Aquarian. They look very very innovative, like little engine wheels, right?
They're essentially light body conduits. That's what they are. And there's more to it, so I'm not gonna like fully explain, because it's like sometimes you have to keep a little information for yourself, and for people that essentially find the curiosity within it. Like, I'm willing to like
Absolutely.
give people,
Let
you
them
know.
digest that.
But
Digest that one for a little bit.
and what's crazy is that these shapes, you can
Wow.
literally, because there's a lot of information that goes into like the shapes, the points, and within each layer there's stars, and you have 8-pointed stars, you have 6-pointed stars, you have 16-pointed stars, you have a hexagon, an octagon. These all change the meaning, and there's actual mathematical equations between each angle, which if I were to give this to Tesla or something, I'm pretty sure that they would probably tell me like, yo, like you literally have, because they're all literally angles and shapes that repeat themselves, but there's equations into each of these. And
Wow, that's incredible. Wow, you are amazing.
and each person like radiates different shapes. And I've drawn like smaller ones because I'm literally creating a new system. And that's the thing, is that people don't realize that knowledge was given to us so that we can interpret it our own way, and we sort of give it our meaning, but also like keep the meaning that the knowledge that's given to us. We're basically enhancing like the knowledge that but respected in a sense too. But it's crazy, because it's like, you know, like we're all capable of learning whatever it is that you want to learn. Like, you're capable of it. It's within us. Like, if you think that you're only like one-dimensional or two-dimensional, no, like you literally can create, like, I feel like there's like 7 people of me within myself, and it's like, no, I don't have multiple personalities. I just have all these inherent personalities and abilities that come from each person, but it's all the same person. It's just me.
And it's a beautiful thing to embrace it, because we're taught to believe, to label things and call it, you know, multi-personality, bipolar, and that's not what it is. It's just that you have your own multi-dimensional and, you know, energetic subtle bodies out of balance, out of whack. So it's displaying in a wrong form. So 2 different personalities are coming because those 2 personalities within you are battling inside of yourself. Wow, that looks like that looks literally like this wheel. I thought I saw something like that in a mushroom trip that I did. I swear, and it was like moving. It had like, wow, that's incredible. You know, you have so much variety. So for people who have like a different kind of style, more like very girly, like I saw one that looks like a flower. This one looks almost like a heavy metal, right?
Yeah.
Like heavy metal, like you're so like, let me see that one more closer again.
It's because this one's in pencil. And guys, these take a while to do. It's not like something
I'm pretty sure.
Called
Wow, it's beautiful. Wow, yeah, it's a little bit fuzzy in the center, but
yeah, we'll catch up on that, because I want to do what's it called, the video. And this one's mine. This one I did for me. And again, I'm very dimensional, and it features all the colors of my aura.
That looks like an eye. That right there.
That we essentially have most of the auric colors that represent the chakra system. Like, we all have different shades of red and blue, and it just dependent on the person and the balance within you, because it's like I'm very, very much in tune with my feminine and masculine. And I think that's like a plane that you reach where it allows you to expand more on how you're able to receive information and understanding the information and learning to be both. Because it's like we're dualistic beings. Like, we have darkness in us, but we also have light. And once you're able to embrace both, you're able to see that it's like, of course, I would rather be light and be the light that shines to this world and be one of those people that, because essentially I'm here to like literally like raise the vibration of the world. And I think that a lot of us feel that that's our purpose. And I feel like that is like the end goal. We're here to help raise the frequency, the vibration, to add more light to the world, because each individual, we teach lessons to others without even knowing that we're teaching them, you know? And it's like, and it's a form of expression, even a form of expression, just being yourself helps other people like see that it's like, yo, like I want to be myself too, you know? So
Yeah, it's like being authentic. Like we're so taught to be cookie cutters. Like everyone's the same. We have the little uniforms in school. You know, like if you work for UPS or whatever, everyone's have to be shaved, and the pot, like, shave your hair. Like there's no like, oh, you can't have tattoos. You can't this pierce here. Like you can't look like that, mohawk. It's like we can't. We gotta hide our own like originality, like our uniqueness. Like, and that's where it is. Because you are able to be yourself and express yourself. You feel like doing your hair purple, whatever that day, you know, and then you draw, you're just working with your sexual energy and not wasting it in the nothingness and just like, you know, hopping like bunnies, everyone around, getting diseases because you're misusing your sexual energy, okay? And then you're so like molded because you can't be yourself either. So it just displays in this sexual dysfunction. Okay, that's what happens. So when you live this life, you're just being what you're meant to be. And we realize that there's no competition. We're like fed into this competition mentality. That's another thing. Everyone's competing. Can we stop competing? Can we see each other as beautiful? You don't see flowers out there fighting each other. I'm the best rose. Like they're beautiful. They complement themselves. The butterflies, they're not fighting out there. They're flying beautifully together and they're all unique. Yes. So that's the problem where this system wants us to fight each other. Yeah. So when shit hits the fan, which it could happen, please do not fight each other because that's what they want. This is when races have to come together more than ever. All of you like hating on people who like for what they believe in, and you know the people with like thinking, oh, it's gonna be the whites. All this dissolves. We're human beings. We're all under attack as human beings. All races, doesn't matter. They're gonna twist it and make it seem like we're against each other. It's not what it is. It's not.
Yeah, anyone whose message we're conveying to, it's like you have light in you. Like we're all capable of being much more than we were born to be, because that's what they essentially wanted us to not see, is that you're capable of everything and more, and you're deserving of everything and more. Like, so yes, like hopefully this message gets to people and that it inspires you to like work on yourself, like work on being the best you, because that's what life is. It's like it's seeing how far can you develop yourself, how far can you go into like unlocking your full potential, instead of living in a square that they created for us. It's like what more of you is there, like, you know?
Exactly.
And more people find that. It's like it's within you. Like embrace it.
Don't
like
stop searching. Like that's so beautifully said. Like there's so much to you. Don't just give up at the end, and don't fall for that belief system of like, oh well, I'm like no old. You know, the ancestors never thought like that, and they died. A lot of them happily, still doing their thing at a strong age. So I hope that this has helped, and if you really enjoy this conversation and everything, make sure you like it and share it.
I know I did.
Yeah. Do you want to show a little bit of your amulets, Juan Manuel?
Well, these amulets, it's kind of funny because they started
something special with the amulets too, I gotta say.
They started like originally, like I'm just a very creative person, and for a while I had an online shop that I sold like curated vintage pieces, and then I was like, well, let me take it further, because it's like I do art too. So I was selling prints, I was selling clothing, And then I was like, I'm gonna get into jewelry making. And at first, like they were different shapes. Like they were different shapes, and but what's crazy is that they weren't selling. Like people didn't see the value in it, and I was like, no, there's a reason why they're not selling. And they started becoming more intricate, and then they because literally like some of these don't have it all, but it has the white stone, and before I because like they fell off, but the other side had the black, so it was the black and the white, which is
Can
like,
you show it a little closer? Bring it to the camera a little bit so people can see. So there's a stone right in the middle.
Yeah. And what's called I started, I don't know, I started gifting these to people, and as I was gifting it to them, well, there was a few people that during the time that I was selling them, they're like, they seem very Navajo, they seem very Native American, and I didn't realize like how, because like sometimes I think I'm like, hey, maybe I was like part Navajo at some point in my life, because it's like I had this like affinity to want to heal through using herbs, like and it's crazy. But when I was giving them to people, I would tell them like this one's protection, because if you see it looks like a shuriken, like those little stars that ninjas used to throw.
Yes. So like if it spirals, it just like repels.
It's definitely, and I've been meaning to add more to it, because there's actually insignias, because I've been studying alchemy too, and there's these insignias that you could use to enhance these tools essentially, and it's like what's it called, people don't realize that literally like you can put your energy into these things, like you and enhance the capabilities that it has within your own belief.
Absolutely. Everything is chargeable, especially when they're made with natural ingredients that are earth, especially. And I just want to tell people, for all of those who saw those and didn't think that they had any value at that time.
But I was like, no, there's a reason why it happened.
Well, they don't know any better, because sometimes these holistic things, but you have to understand that a person that creates the Merkabas the way you do, I don't care what it is, anything that you create is special.
It's a form of alchemy too.
Okay, because if you can do that, that means this too. Let's not take value. Like this does have, I believe, it has a special meaning and power to it, because if you get this higher intelligence that you're able to do this Merkabas with our incredible, that very complex, let me remind people, complex geometrical patterns that have to be beautifully symmetrically perfect. It's very hard, and I invite anyone to do them. I want to do my own too, because people say you should do your own, you have to draw yours. But anything else that he would create, I would be like, oh yeah, like these amulets, I feel like they have something about them. So for all of those like looking to like remember, look at that, like maybe this resonates with you, go through his website, check out these amulets, because maybe they called to you, and some of them symbolize for protection and different things. You can hang them maybe on top of, I hang things sometimes on my roof like that, or in the car for protection. Wow, that's beautiful. What is that? Tell us all about that.
This one's guidance, because like if you see it, it sort of looks like a compass, right? It has like a direction, like it's like it has the center, and then it has the compass part. So that one's like more.
Oh yeah. I like that.
And then, and I'll put pictures up. This one's balanced. This one's balanced, because this one literally it's like two of them stacked together, and they're working like,
Oh yeah. That's and what you do it with wood and beads, they're beautiful.
and the suede cording. And then this one's protection too. It's like a shield. It's a shield.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. This was like 2 shields, right?
Uh-huh. And I know that right now, like they don't, once you put them on, they actually hang very well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wow. That's
so, yeah.
beautiful.
And I usually use the colors. Like I would use the colors representative to the person, because it's like I would try to cater to making them close to like their auric color.
So you custom make them, like that's great. Like sometimes I make jewelry too, and like I make feathers. I get a lot of feathers from my hike and make earrings with them and stuff like that. But so you kind of like make them, so people know, you guys know now, he can specialize one depending on your energetics and whatever, you know,
whatever that you need.
he receives, and whatever you want, he can custom make you one.
Yeah.
I apologize for my bird, guys. I know you guys hear him.
No.
I'm like quiet over here, like he's like a child. Wow, thank you so much, Juan Manuel, for showing us your amazing art and sharing with us your incredible wisdom and knowledge. You are an incredible being. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. And please make sure you check Juan Manuel out. We will leave his link to his website as well as his Facebook page, so you can friend him and check him out. Check out his art. Look how beautiful behind him, the Merkaba. You got to get one of his Merkabas and connect with him. And we will be doing more things together. So you will be seeing more of Juan Manuel around. So I just want to say that. And I want to be ending this soon. I want to finish this with a little guided meditation really quick before we leave. But I want to, Juan Manuel, anything that you want to say to the people watching this right now, any words of wisdom that comes to mind during this time that you want to leave them with?
I would say, similar to like my process of growth, seek knowledge, seek information, feed your brain, read as much as you can read, because literally everything you read is a perspective, and you might not agree to a certain perspective, but it allows you to be able to see something outside of what you're normally used to. And you'll be surprised that sometimes like me, like I did a lot of reading, and there was a lot of information that I was like, whoa, like this is the first time I've read this, and it was already within me. Like it was like a confirmation that I was like, whoa, like, so that's why I sometimes think I'm like, are we just like firstborns, or have we lived through certain lifetimes that we have this information that's already within us, that's dormant, but it's like, how are you ever gonna know like what you're tapped into when you start reading and you start getting these synchronicities of like things and information that you're like, whoa, like I didn't know that I was like a philosopher in my own sense, you know? And or that you had a certain gift, like being a clairvoyant, being able to hear things, like information is like the most valuable thing. But also, like, just as information is, creativity is one of the biggest forms of creativity, and imagination trumps everything. Like we're capable of so much more, and it's like, unlock your full potential and be like a child again. Like pretend that you went through this transformation, and it's like you're seeing things in a new perspective. You're connecting to plants. You're playing around. You're sort of, yes, like it's like you're creating this world within yourself, and you start seeing changes within the actual physical world based on how you choose to perceive things, and you'll start seeing like you'll start living a richer life. Because like richness does not mean like money. It doesn't mean monetary things. It's a way of perceiving things, and a way of learning to be grateful for the things that you have, that earth provides for us on a daily basis. The air we breathe, the light that shines on us during the day and during the night. Like the stars that guide us, that tell us that the shifts that are coming, like it's like, be more aware, use all your five senses, like, and I say five senses because it's like we have five senses, like, I mean, was it five? Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we have six.
Six, yes.
We have six senses, where the sixth sense is the intuition part of it.
The third eye. Like
yes,
the third
the
eye.
intuition, like physically we have five. So, and I piggyback all that you said. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better, because it's so true. It's, first of all, I like that you said imagination, because I always put emphasis on imagination, because all inventions, every creativity in the world that's been material, like from like a man-made,
from an idea,
from imagination. So tap into the imagination and get creative, like Juan Manuel says. I always say it's all about that, getting creative. You are a creator.
Yes.
That's what you came here to do, to create, not to be, to do what you're told. Because if you have essentially this beautiful chakra of creativity in the sacral that has to and needs to create. And when you're not creating, it displays in sexual dysfunction.
Yeah.
Because you are not creating. So tap into the creativity and you will see that you don't need to fuck around to say it like that. And you're not wasting your time with these heartbreaks, with diseases and bullshit that people bring, and my boyfriend this and my ex-boyfriend that. You're all of a sudden building your empire.
Yes.
Because essentially, when you meet people, you know who's the one. There's no mistakes. There's not like, oh yeah, we broke up, because now you're so aware of yourself and who you are that when you meet someone, you know when there's a red flag. Then you don't go at it like we usually do. We're like, well, he's so cute. There's no, he's so cute when you're awake. There's nothing, because we see at a soul level. It's a beautiful thing. And I'll leave it at that.
You're like, work on yourself. Okay, work on yourself.
Work on yourself.
And we don't need to sound like it's like, no, bro, you get your life together. No, it's not about that. It's like work on yourself. Like learn to really connect with who you are. Like embrace who you are. Like and if you're not at the point where you are, where you want to be, like every day is a new moment. Every day is a new day to work on it. Like no one just changes. A butterfly does not change from a worm to a cocoon to a butterfly in a day. No, that it takes time. Like and it's like we're just like a butterfly. I'm in my cocoon stage right now as we speak. Like and I feel like a lot of us are still like we, you know.
Totally.
But yes, work on it.
Work on it. Like, you know what? There's always something to learn every day. And honestly, like we can't control and change anyone, but we can control and change ourselves. It's like
if you have Netflix, like cancel your Netflix subscription and join Gaia or like a system where you can read, because there's so many platforms out there to learn from. But it's like
tap into the good stuff.
Anything
right? The internet is like a gray outlet, and it has good shit and bad shit. What are you tapping into? Because whatever you tap into, you're gonna be getting in your reality. It's not only what people eat. It's not just what you eat that affects
what you
physical.
digest.
It's what do you feed your brain?
Yes.
What do you feed these ocular eyes that memorizes everything and keeps everything stored in the mind? Because if you're watching some bullshit and some detrimental, nasty stuff, it's gonna retain here in the brain and affect your frontal cortex. All of a sudden, you got an addiction going of some sort.
Yeah.
So. That was wonderful. I'm going to do a quick guided meditation just to leave everyone with all of this really quick. And hopefully Phoenix is not too. Baby, please be quiet. Phoenix, shh. I'm in a recording. Please, baby. I'll have to do a recording with him one of these days so you guys can see him, because I know he's like a child. Listen to him. Okay, so I want to invite everyone to just relax right now and gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and release all the stress, all the tension, the doubts, the blockages, the anxiety of the current situation.
Yes, certainly.
Relax yourself, your body, and just find that peace, internal peace within you. Notice your silhouette sitting in this empty space, this void, at peace. You're healthy. You're okay. It will be okay if you want it to be okay. So see your spine sticking into the earth, this big root, and see yourself drinking beautiful nectars of Mother Gaia. See you part of the tree, as a tree yourself, growing up with beautiful leaves and branches reaching out to the sky, reaching to the ancient light, the sunlight, and absorbing this beautiful vitamin D and this light, this downloads that come from cosmic energy, knowing that you are grounded, that you are connected. And just touch your heart and center your heart. Feel your heartbeat. Have gratitude to your heart for keeping you alive. Remember, this is where you find your center. And when you feel yourself going through an anxiety of what's going on, you don't know what's happening, before you react, always take a second, a minute to just do this for yourself. Find balance, to ground, to center, to connect, and find a peace within, and allow the truth and the information to flow through you within this stillness. Take a deep breath and breathe it out. And slowly come back to yourself. Open your eyes in a gentle gaze. And recognize the beauty that surrounds you. Thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in with me and Juan Manuel in this beautiful, it is Wednesday today here, April 4th. And it is Wednesday, Mercurial Day. So we put this message out because it is the day of communication. So we communicate this to you guys in this day. Thank you so much, Juan Manuel. You are a delight. Thank you for being here. And we will be seeing you more often here again. So with that being said, all of you, be blessed. Namaste.